before we get into the battle, people, you need to make sure you've got enough energy to watch this. And what do I mean by that? Get yourself some G Fuel using code SALT for 30% off. My favorite flavors are dragon fruit and peach iced tea. There's a bunch of other flavors you want to try. You can get starter kits, you can get tubs, a whole bunch of different ranges there for your energy and caffeine needs or non-caffeine needs. Link in the description of the video, people. Come and check out G Fuel with code SALT. If you miss the salt, it's not my fault. What's up, you? For today's video, we're in full Dynamax Adventure Shiny Pokemon team. These are the very first 6 shiny Pokemon I caught on my Dynamax adventure. If you want to follow me on Twitch, this is where I do all my live streams, theme teams, Pokemon battles. Come and battle me there at twitch.tv/PIMPNITE. Today we got 3 battles, and I really hope you enjoy them. The first battle here we have is against Lapis. Now, with these sets, right, I tried to use the exact or almost the exact set that the Pokemon got. Some of the moves I couldn't really use because they were just completely useless and I couldn't make use of anything. Some of the doubles moves and stuff like that. So I tried my best to retain some of the former set, or if not all of it. So we're going to be starting off with the Poltergeist here, and we got a Zeraora. Now I've got a Shell Smash, Sucker Punch, Self-Destruct set. This is a physical Poltergeist, right? Now, even if you go for a Shell Smash and you get a Shell Smash off, right, you don't really always one-shot stuff with this set, right? Because its attack is nowhere near good as its special attack, right? So it's not like the really good Shell Smashing special attack Poltergeist, right? So getting that Shell Smash off with the weak armor as the ability and the Shell Smash, that is going to be enabling me to outspeed the Zeraora really easy. So now what I can do, right, I can either go for a Self-Destruct or I can go for a Poltergeist, right? Poltergeist likes to go for Poltergeist, right? So we're going to go for Poltergeist. I'm going to attack the Zeraora, nicknamed Milk, with its own magnet, and I'm going to take that out in one shot, giving me an early lead to the battle. So that was really good, and plus I'm set up with my Shell Smash too, right? So the next Pokemon to come into the battle is Melmetal. Now, Melmetal is very bulky, so Poltergeist, I feel like Poltergeist is going to do some okay damage, but it's definitely not going to take it out. Now, Sucker Punch is not stab, so that's going to do nothing. So I've got to go for Poltergeist and maybe hope for a critical hit here. So go for Poltergeist on the Melmetal. It's not shiny, it's not G-Max either. And that's going to go for the double Iron Bash, and my little Teapot is going to get smashed right out of this battle. Now, the item that the Melmetal has got is the Expert Belt, which actually isn't too bad because it gets a couple of elemental punch moves. It actually gets some quite good coverage. So now I'm going to go into my Tornadus here. I was lucky enough to get one of these, and this moveset is exactly the same. I did not alter this one iota. So we got max health and max special attack EVs. I've got the Prankster ability. So what I can do, right, I can give myself a little bit more bulk, go for Prankster agility, and then start attacking. So going for the Heat Wave on the Melmetal, and that is going to take it out. So a nice solid KO there. Now, the item I've got on my Tornadus is Wide Lens, so, most of my attacks we're not going to be missing too often, or at all. So in comes the Dustmane Necrozma. Now, this is where the battle started to get very interesting. So, okay, let's go for the Heat Wave. It's going to be able to outspeed me there. I don't have an agility up, of course, and Power Gem does around half my health. So I go for Heat Wave, and it misses. I'm like, huh? What? Heat Waves with a wide lens makes its accuracy 99. So that means I only had a 1% chance of actually missing. I was like, what? How could this happen to me? Like, so my Tornadus goes down. I was really salted. Like, that was 1% chance of missing. So it's like, okay, I got to try something right now. So going to Life Bar, this is a horrendous Assurance, Trick, and Life Orb set with Play Rough and Attract. So I can't really use any other moves except for Assurance to assure me this KO. Hopefully I can get that. So now we got the Sunsteel Strike from the Necrozma here. Now I've got max health and max attack, Brave Nature, so I kind of wanted to be going second right. This is like a slow bulky set. So Life Bar just managed to leave and Assurance misses. So I'm like, okay, I know why I missed that Heat Wave before, right? Because this Necrozma Dustmane, right, is holding a Bright Powder or a Lax Incense on your PIMPNITE channel. So the Sunsteel Strike is going to take up my Life Bud, and I've got to take this Pokemon. It's unstoppable at the moment. So my next Pokemon to swap in is my Frostas. Now, funny enough, right, I've got Pride Powder on this too, so I thought, I got to fight Scum with Scum, right? So we got Triple Axle, we got Hail with a Snowcoke ability, Poltergeist, and Substitute. So you can get that Substitute up, right, throw up the Hail, and it can rain salt, and then all the moves will miss. So I can see, right, what its item is, and it is the Lax Incense. I'm going for Poltergeist on the Necros, but that's actually pretty solid damage there. So hoping that actually missed me, and it didn't happen, unfortunately, and now it's going to hit me with the Dark Pulse, and it's going to take me out with a critical hit there. I don't know if I would have lived that one if it wasn't a crit, but maybe I felt I could have lived that one like maybe really badly. But anyway, we'll never know. So the next Pokemon to swap in is my Boltund here. I'm getting absolutely destroyed by this thing. So I've got Rising Voltage, Electric Terrain Charge, and Hyper Voice, Throat Spray, and boy, this set actually really pops off. It's actually quite funny. In this stage in the battle, what I want to do, right, is I want to put it in KO range for my last shiny Pokemon, which is my Guzzlord. So now we got another Dank Pulse here. That's about half health to my Boltund. So that really tells me that damage there that Frostas probably could have lived at. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do a hard swap right into Guzzlord, hoping they go for a Dark Pulse again and get an nice easy swap in. Instead of that, they went for Photon Geysers. I'm like, okay, that's even better. No damage at all. So I've got a Choice Scarf Physical Guzzlord here, and I've got Crunch as my go-to move. Now, with Crunch, right, if I can take this Necros route and outspeed it, which I do with the Choice Scarf, it's going to go down and it's going to give me a Beast Boost too, so I can keep boosting up my attack stat and see if we can get maybe we can clutch back in the game. I'm not really sure at this point. So the next Pokemon is Zygarde. I'm like, oh no, not Zygarde. Now, in Dynamax Adventures, this is the hardest Pokemon to take out, right, because of its ability. So it basically just gets, I'm going to put it straight for any new players, it just gets 2 bars of health. Now, I've got Dragon Rush, Drain Punch on this set, and I've got Crunch as well, which is a really sort of nice coverage for a physical Guzzlord. Obviously, it's nowhere near as good as a special Guzzlord, but it is still, a pretty fun set to run. So go for Dynamax Guzzlord here. I thought I had to do this. I want to get like a little bit of extra bulk to take this out in case the Zygarde does actually, Dynamax itself there. Also, question of the day, if you have got a shiny in the Dynamax Adventure so far, leave it below in the comment section. I want to know, everyone watching this video, what is your first shiny you caught in the Dynamax Adventure? For those who have played the Dynamax Adventure in the DLC, right? So Colgate's going to hit me with a solid Outrage, but since I'm in Dynamax, right, Guzzlord's got a lot of health and it tanks it pretty nicely. Like, if I wasn't in Dynamax, I was going down, right? I was going down like that Colgate toothpaste down the drain. So the next Pokemon is Butter Latios. So it's like a shiny Latios, right? But it's the color of butter. I mean, I don't know if my butter's like that golden, but you know what? It's a pretty cool golden butter, right? So we got a Max Wormwind, Max Knuckle, Max Dargus, and Max Steel Spike. Now, I can go for a Max Wormwind here. I know that it'll do a lot of damage. I could possibly even take it out in Dynamax if it isn't super duper defensive, right? Now, they are going to Dynamax their Latios. So I was like, Now, without the Choice Scarf on my Guzzlord, right, I know that I'm going to get outspeed by these things, right? I'm like, if I can live this, I know that I can take it out. But if I don't live this, well, that's game. Like, Boltund is not going to be able to do any damage, to a Latios whatsoever. So the Latios is going to go for a super effective Max Hailstorm on Guzzlord. And Guzzlord managed to live on 78 health. Like, it ate that, like, super, super well. Now, what is going to happen, right? The Haley is going to fill on the field, right? So, like, okay. This is good. Like, this is really, really good. So go for my Max Wormwind, and Latios is gets absolutely destroyed. And there's one more Pokemon left, but this is where it started to happen, right? That was a critical hit too. So I don't know if that one mattered too much. I feel like it didn't matter. Now, at this stage of the game, right, I had a lot of Beast Boosts up. So you probably think, okay, well, what's the point of swapping, right? And Guzzlord's going to take a little bit of damage from Hell. Now, the next Pokemon is the Regidrago. Now, Regidrago can outspeed me and will be able to outspeed me because I don't have my Choice Scarf in Dynamax, right? So what I got to do here, I was thinking about this for a long time. I've got to swap out the Guzzlord, swap it out, right? Sacrifice the Boltund, swap back into my Guzzlord, go for the Dragon Rush, and get the dub, Anyway, so we're going to swap into Boltund here. I have to do that because I'm going to get outsped otherwise. And, Boltund can't do any damage to this thing at all. So now we got the Charizard, the Regidrago go for its signature move, and Boltund's obviously going to be going down. Now, that move is based on health. So the more health this Pokemon has, the more damage that move will do. So we got the last Pokemon is Guzzlord here. What I can do is I can go for a very powerful Dragon Rush here, and that should be enough to take out this Pokemon and get the win on like a little bit of health. So I'd say, okay, I may even get a flinch as well, mate. Like I feel like this will definitely take it out if they're running like a sweeping one. So I was thinking about this for a long time. I could go for Drain Punch, but no, that's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to withstand that attack. I could go for Crunch. It's not going to work. I could go for Iron Head, but I won't probably get a flinch. So going for my only option here, which is Dragon Rush, and Dragon Rush misses. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so salty. Like, I feel like I did everything right there. Unfortunately, I got the miss at the end, and it's going to take me out. That was so unfortunate there. And with the Adamant Nature, Guzzlord is still very, very, very slow. And thank you for the battle, Lapis. Oh, I'm salty as hell. That I could have run another Dragon type move, but without the Beast Boost, it's kind of weak. So there you go. That's what happens when you run Dragon Rush. Man, I'm getting Assault Rush right now. The next battle we have is against Donovan. You know what? This is the first battle of the video. Welcome, guys. What's up? Welcome to my shiny Dynamax Pokemon team. All right, today we're going to battle against Donovan here, and he's got a shiny Vaporeon lead. So I've got this Liepard, right? This Liepard was a very, very difficult set to use. So the whole idea of this one, right? What you do is firstly you want to trick the opponent a Life Orb, right? Because the move Assurance works in mysterious ways. So what happens, right, is the opponent actually needs to do damage to themselves before you use the move. So either that sort of things like Life Orb, say they use High Jump Kick and miss, and then you hit them. So it's a very gimmicky move. It's very, very hard to make use of this move, but it does get a double on base power, which is very, very strong. That's why I was kind of interested in using it. And plus, you know, the Liepard already had this move when I caught it, so I thought, let's make use of that set right. So now I'm going to hit by the Blizzard there. Does a lot of damage, almost taking my max health Liepard out. At this stage, it's an absolute disaster because, you know, I'm still going to outspeed, and it was very hard to do because you had to trick off the item, you had to live the next hit, and then you had to live the next hit after that, and then you had to take it out. It was very, very difficult to do, right? So now the Vaporeon's going to go for a somersault. Did you see that somersault? And it's going to take me out with a Disrespect Assurance. That was mean. That's something that I do. Man, I'm nearly crying right now. That was so mean. Okay, so Liepard's going to take a little bit of a dirt nap there, and Vaporeon is going to take some Life Orb damage. Now, the next Pokemon I'm going to swap in is Frostlass. Oh, I got to mention one thing too. I didn't mention this at the start of the video. Now, the very first Pokemon you see, actually, the order you see the Pokemon at the start, my Dynamax Pokemon, I showed actually getting them. I caught the first two back-to-back, right? Then I did another stream on Twitch and caught the next two back-to-back. Like, that is very, very lucky. Then the last ones I caught in a singular sort of fashion. Like, I didn't get them back-to-back. But I got two back-to-backs there in a row, which is very interesting. Now, out of all 6 of my shinies, right, I got them in about 50. I did 51 Dynamax Adventures, and I caught 6 shinies. That's pretty good. Like, that's some pretty good odds right there. Anyway, back to the battle. I just thought I'd fill you with a little bit of information. I'm going to attack a Vaporeon with its Mystic Water. I feel like if that had a Water Absorb, that shouldn't do anything. So, like, you attack it with a Water-type move, right? But it gets absorbed. That'd be so, like, Galaxy Brain if that happened, right? So, it's going to hit me with a Shadow Ball. That's a 2-hit KO against my Frostlass. Now, Frostlass, the best bet here is to go for Poltergeist, right? Now, my opponent is also running a theme team. They are running 6 Vaporeon. So Vaporeon's a very bulky Pokemon, right? So I was thinking, I've got to get some sort of damage against this thing, right? Like, any damage is welcome, right? So Vaporeon is in range to actually Revenge KO from any one of my other Pokemon. Unfortunately, Frostlass is going to go down to that Shadow Ball. I was actually kind of hoping that Bright Powder would kick in, but it didn't, you know. Evasion is is one of those things that's just, you know, complete luck. There's nothing you can really do about it. So I was like, okay, let's go into Guzzlord here. I might be able to get some, like, you know, some Beast Boost up. I could go for a Crunch, get a Beast Boost up. I could go for Dragon Rush and, you know, miss 1,000 times again. So go for Dragon Rush, and you know what? I should have known better after the first battle. It missed on the Vaporeon. But since I was Choice Scarf, right, I wanted that to be the move I was locked into. And, of course, guess what happens now? The Vaporeon burns you with a Scald. So Guzzlord gets the short end of the stick again. Now, I gotta say this, right? My favorite shiny Ultra Beast is Guzzlord. Like, it looks really, really nice. I have to admit, it looks very, very nice. Now, my favorite Ultra Beast, just in general, like normal, non-shiny, or just in general, is Buzzball. But, maybe you want to tell me what your favorite, you know, Ultra Beast is. So, anyway, I get the KO on the Vaporeon. The problem is I'm actually burnt, so I'm gonna need some, man, I'm going to need probably a couple more Beast Boosts to actually do any damage. Now, in comes the next Vaporeon, right? Vaporeon's a very bulky Pokemon, so if this set has any sort of remote bulk on the health and defensive side, even with a +1 Beast Boost, I'm not doing much. So finally, Dragon Rush hits here, rare footage, and it does alright damage there, it does okay, and then Vaporeon goes for a Charm. I'm like, oh. So with the combination of Will-O-Wisp being burned and Charm, my Guzzlord's going to do nothing. And I might actually miss with Dragon Rush too. So at this stage, it's like, there's not a lot of point me actually keeping Guzzlord in. I might be able to use it later on, or it may be useful to swap into a Dynamax attack, something like that, right? So into Tornadus now, I thought, let's go for these Hurricanes, right? Now, it's going to go for a dive here. I'm like, okay, is this a physical Vaporeon? This is going to be interesting, and it's got leftovers, right? So I was like, okay, maybe it's got Toxic and Dive or something really scummy like that. So I thought, well, this is a prime opportunity to go for a Prankster or a Geodude, right? Get my speed up, get prepared to outspeed the rest of those Vaporeons. We all know how fast Vaporeon is, right? Now, I'm going to get hit by a Dive here. Now, Dive actually did pretty good damage to me. I didn't think it would do that much, so I'm definitely thinking this got some solid attack EVs in it, right? Now, it's time to go for a Hurricane here. With the wide lens, I've got a pretty good chance of hitting. I can't go for my 99% actually Heat Wave, and I've got to go for Hurricane, right? So go for that Hurricane on the Vaporeon. It really doesn't do that great of damage. I think I need another Hurricane to actually take it out. So I'm going to get attracted by the Vaporeon with a very purple Vaporeon. Actually, just looking at Thunderous' shiny there. It's not an amazing... I guess it's not an amazing shiny. Like when you look at, in my opinion, when you look at Guzzlord, that's a heat. Well, a lot changes more on Guzzlord than it does on Tornadus. I guess you could say it's more saturated. So now we're going to go for another Hurricane on the Vaporeon, and Vaporeon's going to go down. So I've taken half the Vaporeon team out, and I've still got 4 more Pokemon left myself. So things are going pretty solid at the moment. Now the next one is Vaporeon again, and it's another shiny Vaporeon. So okay. I may as well just keep going for as many Hurricanes as I possibly can get. I know I'm probably going to get fainted by an Ice-type move or a Water-type move very, very soon, right? So I went for my Hurricane, and Hurricane's going to land again, which is really good. I quite like Wide Lens. It's not a bad item. I mean, I guess the more accuracy you got, the better, right? Because it scales a lot better than with the 10%. So Vaporeon is going to, instead of attacking me, just go rest right away. I was like, huh? It went for rest that early, and it didn't have a chest burst. I'm like, okay, it's got Sleep Talk. Like, it must have rest and Sleep Talk or something like that, right? I'm not sure what moves it's going to do, but I knew that I had Sleep Talk. Well, I assumed that it did. Unless it's got Snore or something like that. So the Vaporeon's going to go for a Sleep Talk here. I was like, okay, I wonder what moves it's got. Maybe Ice Beam, something along those lines, right? And now it's going to go for Skulls. I'm like, okay, Skull, that's unfortunate, and that's going to be able to take me out nearly. But then I got Burst, like, okay, it's definitely going to take me out. So Tornadus will go down the next turn. So now I've got one more turn to go for a Hurricane, and it will be in range to actually take out with another Pokemon right there. I mean, I don't think I'll be able to take it out with Guzzlord, but maybe one of my other Pokemon could finish the job. So getting a nice little crit there on the Hurricane, that really, really helped me out there. It's definitely put Vaporeon in a very, very low amount of health. So Vaporeon's going to go for another Sleep Talk here, and it gets another Scald. I'm like, what? 2 Scalds in a row? That's no good. Tornadus is going to go down. So unfortunately, I lost that, and Vaporeon does have a little bit of health left, so I can definitely get around that. Now, people, it's time to use the Boltund. You're probably wondering why I was holding back on Boltund so much. I wanted to make sure the coast was clear before I could set up this absolute unit. So we got max speed, max special attack, competitive nature, competitive ability, not nature. And what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to put that electric train on the field. Now, I've got Throat Spray as the item. This was the whole set. It was very, very hard to pull off every single one of these things, right? Now, Vaporeon's going to go for a Wish here. I thought I'd go for Electric Train and stop him from sleeping, but it had Rest and Wish. Like, what sort of Actually, let me think about that for a sec. Wish, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Scald. Like, what sort of messed up set is that? That's so stally and scummy. Anyway, so I'm going to go for the Rising Voltage here against the Vaporeon, and it's going to go down. But that's not the whole lot, right? That's not the whole lot. The whole lot of the set, right, is you go for Electric Terrain, right? You get that set up. Rising Voltage, you're getting that power boost. Then you go for a Hyper Voice to get your Throat Spray. Then you go for a Charge, and then you go for a Rising Voltage. Obviously, Charge boosts the power of the next Electric type move. You have that stacked up with Electric Terrain and Stab, and boy, does it do a lot of damage. And you got Throat Spray on top of that too, so you have +1 in special attack. I gave this, this was Timid Nature, by the way, so I could go like super fast. So the next Pokemon is Vaporeon, and it's got a Dynamax. Now, I had an idea that they'd probably Dynamax since it was only 2 Pokemon remaining. I had a 50-50 chance whether they do that. So I thought, okay, if this is a special set, right, I can go for Charge, right? I can get that Rising Voltage and Charge action happening under the electric terrain. It'll be very powerful, right? So I was hoping this was not going to be like a wacky physical Vaporeon, because if it was, you know, Volton was going to go down in one shot. So it's going to hit me the Hydro Voltage. Charge actually caused me to live that, which was very nice there. It is raining, but the opposite Vaporeon is in a lot of strife now, because I've got Rising Voltage and it's going to be hitting very hard. And even with Vaporeon's like really big bulk, it gets destroyed in one shot. That was a very powerful move there. And I think once I actually got to do every one of those things in one battle. But obviously it takes a lot of setup, and most of the time Bolton's going to get one-shotted or, you know, two-hitted. So it's not going to be able to do that. So the last Pokemon, I bet you can't guess this one, is Vaporeon. So I can go for another Rising Voltage here and easily take it out. I've still got 3 more Pokemon remaining too. Now I thought, okay, GG, but the Vaporeon is going to put the Protect on the field, right? And unfortunately for me, right, the electric terrain only had 1 more turn left. Now, I want to show you how much the electric terrain actually helps Rising Voltage do some damage, right? Because without the electric terrain, Rising Voltage is a it's actually a surprisingly very weak move. Like, look at the damage comparison. Look at that. I one-shotted a Dynamax Vaporeon with these, easy peasy 6-0. But when you take the electric terrain away and the charge away, like, it did nothing, and Bolton is going to go down. So that's sort of a comparison, what happens when it's really well set up compared to versus when it's just straight up, you know, just no setup at all. So the next Pokemon is Poltergeist. Remember, Guzzle is completely burned in this battle when it can't do a lot of damage. So Poltergeist is, it's sort of down to Poltergeist to actually finish this battle off. So I thought, okay, my best bet here is going to be going for a Shell Smash, right? If they do go for a Scald, I could get burned and I might go down, but I've got to take that risk because I know Self-Destruct won't take it out without a Shell Smash, alright? Poltergeist certainly won't take it out, and, you know, I've got to go for it. So now Vaporeon is going to go for a Wishes, like, uh-oh. I hope they don't go for a Protect. Like, I've got to make this play. Should I go for Self-Destruct, or are they confident enough that they won't go for Protect because I got a lot of health? They won't expect me to go for a Self-Destruct either. Like, I felt like this is the play to go for Self-Destruct. If I went for Protect, you know, so be it. So I went for Self-Destruct. I was nervously waiting if they were going to go for Protect, and they did not go for Protect. I believe they didn't go for Protect because they had so much health, right? So Self-Destruct with the Shell Smash is going to one-shot the Vaporeon, and that is the second battle. What a great game there. I really got to show you that Bolton set too, which is very cool. A very nice strategy there too. Maybe you could... I don't know, maybe you could have another Pokemon set the electric train up and get the Bolton to Boogie. I'm not sure. That'd be pretty fun. I'm going to take a quick little drink here. The third and final battle was against Skylar as well. It's been a minute since we've had a battle. Having some fresh... I need to freshen up my voice. So this is also a theme team too. Actually, this is like... I think this is like 2 theme teams in one. Now, see if you can guess it. If you can guess what this team is, leave it below in the comment section. And remember, I will say this again, it's actually it's technically 2 theme teams. So we got a Meowth lead here, right? Now, Meowth is going to go for a bite. Does some pretty nice damage to my Frostlass. However, I've got the triple axe on this set, and that is going to take Meowth out in 3 shots. I was a little bit worried there, because if I only landed 2 times, Meowth would have been able to take me out with a bite. Now, the next Pokemon is the Inteleon. It's going to go for a Snipe Shot here, and there's no way I'm going to be leaving a Snipe Shot. Crit or no crit, Frostlass is going to be going down. So I thought, okay, Bolton could be really good against this. I could get... You know, I could get electric terrain up. I might be able to get the setup going. So I was like, okay, this is really good. Let's go for electric terrain and see what's going to happen. So out goes the Inteleon, and in comes the Duraludon. It's like, okay, this is going to be a really interesting test because, remember, Rising Voltage is not very effective against Duraludon. So I've got the electric terrain up, right? I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I could go for a charge here in case it is a special set. So I was like, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for Hyper Voice instead. I want to get that +1, and then I want to go for the Rising Voltage instead and see what sort of, damage I can get. So this is going to turn out to be a physical Duraludon. Almost takes me out there in one shot, and I've got to attack. If I don't attack now, it's going to be a complete waste. So go for the Rising Voltage on the Duraludon here, and Duraludon goes down in one shot. That was absolutely savage there. It wasn't even a crit or anything like that. I mean, Duraludon's special defense isn't amazing, right? But, you know, that was not very effective. So that was pretty nice, right? So in comes the big old Snorlax. Snorlax, I know, is going to be able to tank this one. But that was, once again, that was pretty impressive damage coming from a special Boltund, too. So Snorlax is going to have a Citrus Spray there and eat its health back there. I was like, okay, this is going to be a special set. So it's going to take me out with a Hyper Voice, which is quite funny because I've got Hyper Voice as well. So down goes my Boltund. I've lost 2 Pokemon so far, but, you know, I was very happy with how, you know, Boltund was performing. So into Tornadus. So like, okay, Tornadus. Let's go for Hurricane. Hurricane is going to miss the first time, and now Snorlax is going to go for a Belch. So this is a special belching Snorlax there. I will say this once again, I know I've said this a lot of times, right? Belch animation is so boring, right? It's so boring. Like, why couldn't they have made it something interesting? Like, the Pokemon actually, like, imagine, right? Just imagine this. Just imagine this, right? The camera zooms into the Pokemon's face, and they do like they do a funny face and a burp. How good would that be? Like there'd be a little facial expression on all the Pokemon they do, like a funny one. That'd be so good. Like, why can't they do that? Anyway, so we got the Snorlax going down to my Tornadus. Talon is going to come in and clean up again, but I live on 1 health. The game even glitched out there, and Hurricane misses, and I go down to a Snipe Shot again. Man, how unlucky was that? So I lived on 1 health though. The merch is available, people, and I am actually bringing out some new merch. Hopefully at the start of December. That's where I'm planning, hopefully, to release it, right? Okay, into Poltergeist now. I can go for a free and easy Shell Smash here. Even if I get critted by the Inteleon, I'm good to go, right? Now, the only thing I was worried about is if Inteleon actually had Sucker Punch or not. Like, I wasn't sure if it's going to be a mix set. I really had to take the risk anyway to actually do some damage. So I got that Shell Smash up. I can go for a Poltergeist here. I know that I can take Inteleon in one shot. I definitely don't need to go for a Shell Smash, right? So go for Poltergeist, and then I actually see that the Inteleon had a light clay. So I'm like, okay. So that must have had the Reflect or Light Screen, or both of them. But, you know, there was no way that Inteleon was ever going to be able to use any of those attacks in front of a Shell Smash Poltergeist, right? So the next Pokemon is Centiskorch, and Centiskorch is going to be the G-Max Pokemon here. Maybe that gives you a little clue to what this team might be. But you probably guess it is a G-Max Pokemon team, right? But that is not, that's only one bit of it. Can you guess the second bit? Okay, so we got a big G-Spot Centipede on the field. What I was thinking, right, if they did go for the G-Max Centipede, right, I could go for the Self-Destruct. And Self-Destruct would do a lot of damage, right? And I knew that it outspeed, you know, Centiskorch. Not the fastest Pokemon out there in the world. So going for Self-Destruct does a lot of damage. Just a little bit, I guess, over 3/4. And it's going to go down. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. The G-Spot Centipede is going to miss. And my next Pokemon is Liepard. So like, okay, surely this will outspeed me, and then I can get like a Assurance Boost. That'll be cool. And Assurance outspeeds, and I don't get an Assurance Boost, but I get an Assurance Crit. I was like, okay, well, at least either way, I was assured victory in that matchup. So our Centiskorch is going to go down, and there's 1 more Pokemon left. So taking a little bit of damage there from the Life Orb. And the next Pokemon we got here is the Colossal. So I'm like, okay, Colossal. Well, Liepard, I thought, okay, wait, I got a second idea. Let's go for Trick and see what item it's got. I might be able to get an Assurance Boost here, right? So swapping that Life away, I'm going to get an Air Balloon, and now it's going to be a physical set. Go for the Flare Blitz. So Flare Blitz with Life Orb, you know, Liepard's not going to be living that one at all. I guess the only good thing that came out of that, there's going to be some forms of recall. Well, there's going to be 2, like Flare Blitz and then the Life Orb on top of that. So it burned it well over 1/4 of its health. So my last Pokemon is the Guzzlord, and remember, I haven't actually Dynamax yet. Fun fact, I guess I Dynamax Guzzlord mostly in all of my battles. I don't know why that is. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because I just like it shine the most out of this whole team, I guess you could say. So going into Dynamax Guzzlord now. Now, Colossal's fairly bulky. I didn't think I'd probably be able to one-shot it with a fighting type move, and I didn't really want to use Drain Punch either. Like, I was like, I can't take the risk because I don't know what this thing's going to do. Like, I think it may be like a rock type move. So go for the Max Knuckle. Once again, I was running max speed. I mean, Colossal, you don't have to be very fast to outspeed Colossal, but got the Max Knuckle off anyway. So getting a +1 in an attack there, and the rock move is the Rock Slide. So that's going to do very minimal damage. I can go for a Max Knuckle and take the Colossal out, but That was a really, really fun battle. I hope you people enjoyed all 3 of these battles. If you enjoyed the video, people, please drop a like on there. It does help. And if you are a new subscriber, maybe check out the channel by dropping a subscribe on there. Oh, I got a new intro. What do you think of outro? Sorry, tell me what you think of the new outro. Peace, people.